Hey guys, Matt here, the Broken Supercoach, checking in. Let's do the round 12 review. First week of the buys. No, we'll do a quick review. 2017 points, so quite a high score. One of the highest scores I saw. Unsure what this means. Average score 22.39. That's very hard to believe. I think that's pre top 18, so they've obviously got an error there. So unsure what par was, but looking through most of my leagues, I think if you manage to get 19 to 1800, you've probably done okay. So 2000 is on the high end, obviously on the very high end. So I've gone up 7,000, and this is what I was hoping. So, hoping to grab a lot of points during the buy, especially this buy. I knew I was favored this buy. The one coming up, round 13, I'll just have to pray, hope that we've got enough to sort of keep us covered. Maybe hold the course, and then hopefully we can shoot up a few more. But if we only shoot up, if we can get into the top 10,000 over the next couple of weeks, I'll be very happy. But I don't think that's going to occur. But we'll see. We'll see. But I'm pretty happy that we've salvaged a little bit of the season so far. So let's have a look how the team went. We'll let this load up. Sometimes takes a while. Yeah, we'll just get rid of that. So this is how the team looked. So if you didn't watch the video on the other week, took in Sinclair. I knew I had enough players. Pretty confident that the scorers would be fine. Potentially I was wrong there, but took Sinclair in, and I think that's all I did. I don't think I took another rookie. Just held everyone else. So I had the money from the week before to just bring in Sinclair. And he sat on the bench, obviously, because he didn't play. So not much to worry about there. Excuse me, that's me, not you. If you heard the team's notification, that's me, not you. So I don't need to trip you out there. So this week, we've got a lot out. We'll go through the lines firstly, obviously. So I captained Laird, easy pick, I thought, and into English. So the reason I didn't go Gawn, which I kind of wanted to, I want Gawn in. At the time, I wasn't sure between Gawn and Bont. That is obviously a very clear answer now, what you do there between Gawn and Bont. So perhaps it was a mistake not getting Gawn. And if I had got Gawn, I'm probably in for a pretty massive score this week. But hindsight's a beautiful thing. It is what it is. I've got Sinclair to cover us this week. We'll hopefully bring in another good primo this week. We may even have money to do another one. So we'll see. We'll see what we can do there. So Sicily was quite... he had a few clangers. He was okay. 98. We'll take that every day of the week from our defender. We like Sicily. His bye's next week, so no stress there. He plays for us this week. Hewitt was obviously on the bye. I didn't have a full line of defenders playing. So with Sinclair, Short, and Hewitt, we didn't have that. So Dawson played mostly off the half back. I was at the game. To get 106 like that in a very wet and pretty gross game, you're happy with that. I'm really happy with the Dawson pick, actually. And he's a little bit of a pod. You can't see percentage owned here, can you? But he's a little bit of a pod, so I'm really happy with him on the bye. Coleman, another 70. I thought he probably got stiff. I think Freo sort of ran away with it. He was actually quite high in the... I think he scored about 30, 40 for the half. Thought he was on track for another 90-odd, but went away towards the end. But he's been really nice for us too, Coleman. Saved us a little bit, actually. He's gone up 100k. So what did we traded him for Ridley, when Ridley's been okay, but yeah, Coleman sort of saved us there, so that's nice. Dacos, so really big score from Dacos, and that's cool. We'll take him this week. And I think, truthfully, unless he keeps playing like this, which he won't, you would think, we probably just ship him off in his bye, which is next week. So we got 2 guys to go next week. And SDK has been a wonderful rookie for us, and it's time to move on from SDK. He looks great. From what everyone can say, he's probably going to win the Rising Star, if not Newcomb. Really good defender. A lot of inset marks, and very valuable Supercoach wise. I think going forward, you probably even, depends what his price ends up next year, you may even consider him as a nice mid-pricer next year too. So 235k from him. Great rookie. We loved every minute of him. Had him since round 1, I believe. We were a little bit scared, but look at these scores. He's really come on. Shame that he plays West Coast in round 14. He could go off again for another big score, but we've just got to we've got to start getting some premiums in, and break even at 65. He makes that. There's not much more money for him to make. Probably another 20, 30k. Sinclair and Short obviously didn't play, so they can jump on now. We'll put SDK on, and we'll put Short in for Dawson. So we'll have 6 players in defense this week, and we won't be trading any of those. There are 6. In the mids, Oliver, very nice score again. This guy's a freak. I'm glad we got him early and not waiting, because he will be 7. If you don't have Oliver now, and you're planning on bringing him in the buy, he'll be a 700k player. So a break even of 150. So that's about as high as you can get, 675. If he goes anywhere near that, he hits 700k, and that's just insane. So you don't want to be trading him in next week. Lockie Neal got the tag. So yeah, apologies if you watched my captain's vid and I said I'll advise someone into Sicily and Neal because they're handy for the Sunday. They were probably the worst options you could have taken. So Neal would have barely got in a lot of top 18s, honestly, if not for a trash score by Dunkley. This score just scrapes into your top 18. So unusual from Lockie Neal, but everyone's got him, so it's not a big deal. Captain led against West Coast. What you're seeing, there's a bit of a trend here, is I think you can safely captain a good midfield option against West Coast. It's a pretty safe bet. I was at the game, just a tackle machine. Roy led, absolute tackle machine. I think he's the best tackler. I think he's the highest tackles in the AFL. Potentially not because he missed a week or two, but he is the best tackler in the AFL. So don't stress there. McRae back to 100. We're okay with that. Tuke Miller. So another easy captain choice. A player, the best mid against the Kangaroos. So I think going forward, that's how we're going to sum it up. If we've got a player playing West Coast or a player playing North, and it's one of our better high-scoring mids, then easy C on him. Petrarca still not playing his normal role, so I wonder if they're just sort of relaxing him a bit for the buy. It's definitely a concern because this is the cheapest he's ever been. We actually picked him up at 5. I reckon we picked him up at what, 550 was it? Maybe around here, 550, 560 even perhaps. He's scored. We might have picked him up here where he scored the 87, so we lost 20 on him, and then so it was 550k, and he sort of hovered around, looked really nice for those few weeks, and now he's just sort of teepered off. So we're a little bit worried about that. Fremantle do tag, so not worried about that, and so does Sydney, in fact. So maybe he's just had the tag twice. Still is a concern that he can get that easily tagged. They've stopped tagging Oliver. You no need to tag Brayshaw anymore, so now Petrarca gets the tag, and perhaps a little bit of injury, perhaps through fitness, he's getting beaten in the tag. Soligo's been really good. What a save this guy's been. He's now made 140k after having him in round 7. He dropped a 7 in round 2. He has now made 140k, so we are loving every minute of this kid. And I think we can keep him. What's his break even still 26? I think we can keep him over the buys. I don't think we need his cash. And hopefully he plays throughout the year. But the Crows have been talking about resting Soligo. So hopefully he does play consistently. He's certainly earned his spot on that sort of half-forward, half-back wing area, as well as some midfield attendance. But I don't think he attended any centre bounces, but he attends stoppages. So hopefully we can get some games out of him, and I don't think we need his cash, but we'll take a look at that. Greg Clark's disappointing, very disappointing. Greg Clark was unsided, honestly, in the Crows game. I was expecting to see good things out of Greg Clark, but he's really slowed down. And truth be told, West Coast aren't an AFL standard footy side, so it's a shame. But that's okay. He's been handy for us, and again, I don't think we need his money. He's just going to be a technical reserve, so throughout. the year, so he'll just be handy depth for us. Maybe we can cash it out later. Cooper Stevens, what an L pick this was. It did facilitate Sinclair, so fine. It is what it is, but this has been an L pick up, and as we said when we picked him up, I don't think he keeps his spot. I think they have the bye this week, and I think Dangerfield's fit in round 14, so Cooper Stevens is probably the first to go, but they should persist with him, and hopefully he keeps playing, but this is going to be a dead spot. Perhaps a good loop option. Cripps is back as well. So let's fix this up. So we've got not much going on in the mids currently. We've got ourselves Cripps coming back, and we need a score from Rioli. We just need him to score. Wits and English, not much to say there. English, I wish they'd stop trying to use this guy in the ruck. Just play him as a tool around the ground. He's so good when he does that. But as a ruck, he gets bashed and then he can't do much. So I vice-captained him hoping for a big score. Didn't, whatever. We'll throw Sam Hayes on. Wits is off again this week as well. We knew that getting Wits in. Dunkley, not sure what happened here because I missed the game Friday, but this is trash. So hopefully he's okay. But 66 is just not good. But that's the standard Bulldogs way, isn't it? Like, guys go away. Maybe he copped a bit of a tag. Who knows? Brodie's the GOAT. We love this guy. 573. What a tip. What a pickup. Made 300k. One of the best forwards you can possibly get. So we're really, really happy with Will Brodie. Loving every minute of him, in fact. And I guess the question is, what are we going to look at? So we got Luke Parker. We love that. The question is, when Fife comes back, which is potentially after the bye, I don't think they bring Fife back this week and then have him miss, the bye. I think they probably just say, play one more waffle game, and then after the bye, you're back. Maybe. So we'll see. Fife's very good, but I think he could come back this week, and we'll see how that affects Brodie's scoring. But I don't think it does. I think it affects other guys, probably Brayshaw and Sarong. But Brodie's been too good for them to change up the way he's being used. Parker, yeah, great pick. We're loving this. We foolishly, because I was at the Crows game, I forgot all about it. We had McComb with 40. It wasn't really foolish. I decided I will just accept the McComb with 40, but I didn't think that, obviously 40 is not getting in to your top 18. I didn't think about that. So I should have just I looped Cornelia. I should have just put Rosas on field, but by the time I thought about it, his game had already started. And I didn't think it was a big deal until he actually put out a very nice score for the first time in history. So, yeah, cheers, Rosas. Hasn't really done anything. I really should have done it after this McComb 40, but McComb's been junk, and we'll get rid of him this week as well. 162, he was handy on field every now and then. Darcy Cameron, we're loving this. He's up to 500k. Jeez, that's good. And he'll scale. He'll go a fair way up too. I mean, his worst score since he's been in the ruck is 90. And that was against Martin. That was against Steph Martin, who's a seasoned ruckman. 93. So, geez, we're loving this. We're loving everything we're getting out of Darcy Cameron. And hopefully this lasts because, Grundy doesn't come back till quite late in the piece. And if Collingwood are sort of out of finals contention, or they're in finals contention, they may not bring back Grundy until finals, or maybe they don't bring him back to the final round. So, save a trade for Cameron, of course, but it's going to be a sideways trade to potentially the best player in the AFL. If this guy gets up to 550 and then maintains a 500, 600k ceiling, he's a sick pod. And worst case is you trade him, you bring in the best forward in the league. We've got English for that flick, so we could probably even do, I think English will be in our forward line by that point, but there'll be things to think about when it comes to that. Perhaps we'll get another forward mid somewhere. Either way, we're thinking too far ahead there. Really happy with Darcy Cameron. And the handy thing is if Wits or Sayard do get go down over the next couple of weeks, over the next month or two, we've got that handy cover for Darcy Cameron as well. We can just straight up switch out, say a Wits on a gone, use that trade to bring in a valuable player while everyone else will have 600k on the bench or have to go down to someone else. Yeah, Canelio didn't play, obviously, and McCartan. I'd love to be able to keep McCartan, but a break even of 50, he's not making much more either. And I just think we need his money now. So we'll have a bit of a play around with the trades, but I just don't think we can afford to not trade McCartan. We need to trade round 13 players. Our only guys that we can trade this round are DeConning, Clark, Saligo, McComb, McCartan, Rosas. So they're the only ones that we can trade. And I think the goal will be to take money off of top-end players. So let's try and get that sorted. So we need to do 2 trades because it's going to be... Well, let's do DeConning. We send McCartan up. And we send Rioli down. Oh, no, we need to do a second trade anyway. So it's DeConning. And who else? See, I'm worried about the third one. If I do McCartan, I get 800k, so we can easily go, and then obviously send Rioli in, and we're going to grab Sam Walsh. We've mentioned that before several times. So Sam Walsh, in he comes, and then the defender I think is Ware. So assuming he plays, Jacob Ware. So that's our trade there. And we don't have enough to go Gawn, but we could go Gawn instead of Walsh, but you get a bonus game out of Walsh. So I think that's the go for us. And that's the mid set. So Oliver, Neal, Laird, Cripps, Petrarca, Walsh, McRae, Miller. That's our 9 mids. So we're pretty happy with that. Now, that allows us to... we have to get rid of McCartan to do that. Can I fit anyone in if I don't do McCartan? So McCartan, I need 293. So we can't do Clark, can't do Saligo, can't do Rosas. Disappointing. Can't do Macomb either, but we can do Macomb in 3 trades. So perhaps we can get rid of Macomb. Perhaps we can... Have I ruined this now? Because it says select a defender. Let's, we'll fix this trade up. Because we have already done that. So we'll get rid of that. Here we go. That's better. We'll just change that out. We'll make our third, which will be... Say it's this is a trade with trying to keep McCartan in the team, which is foolish to think about, but we'll try. So we send McCartan, and perhaps we try to get rid of Clark because we don't like him. Who's got the highest break even of these boys? 18, 26, 4. McCartan. 50. This is trying to keep McCartan, so this I don't know how this is going to go, but we'll go with Clark. So then you still bringing in Ware. And you bring in Owens. Michi. So that you do that with 3. And you do it that way. You have to bring in Ware, which is the tricky part. But you don't with that trade. You can just go Owens and you can skip Ware. So there's a few options I can make there, but they're my thoughts on the week. So you can also just obviously go to Conning and Clark for Owens and Walsh. I think that fits. No, it doesn't. You need to do 3. McCartan probably should get rid of him, yes. But we'll do that for now, those 3. And that's, I think, how we're going to look. So we get Rosas on field once more. Oh, you can just press this button. So that's how the team looks. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Interesting. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, geez, boys. We need to find a way to get Ware on field. So we're gonna shuffle around. We're gonna play around with this a little bit. We're going to see how we go. We do it like this quite easily, actually. Like this. Put him on. And that's 18 on field. So 18, it's not ideal. So we need to pick. We need where to play. And he should play, but we'll see. So touch wood, that works. We'll have Owens. We need Owens to play too. So we'll see. We'll take any rookie defender who plays to get out of SDK's money. We'll also take any mid who's cheap. I like Owens because his break even is minus 22 in his second game. We really liked that. And we just need to score out of Rioli. So that brings us down yet quite low, but we ship out. It allows us to keep McCartan for the next buy, but perhaps we trade McCartan. But McCartan's money gets us nothing extra, so perhaps we keep him for round 14 and we just go Dacos and Coleman the week after. Bring in someone else big. I'd love to try to get Gorn. I think we just are not sure about the trades for him, but that's all right. A lot of people grabbing Merritt. Don't mind it. Don't mind that at all. Really nice option, that one. I just like Walsh. And yes, I'm paying up for Walsh, but we got to. He's just, for mine, he's too good. We've got to have him in. So let us know what you're going to do. Obviously, I do a trade video, so I'll probably be a bit more serious about the trades in that video. Who are we going as captain? Jeez, it's a terrible week for captains. And it'll be one of those ones where if you get the captain right, you'll be pretty happy with yourself. We probably would like to VC Walsh into... Oh, there's a Thursday game too, right? So we want to VC Walsh into perhaps Neil against the Saints. Perhaps not Cameron against Melbourne. If you've got Gawn, that's a pretty easy one. You don't mind Oliver against Collingwood on the Monday. You don't mind... No, you'd be no one in that game. You probably don't mind Neil against the Saints. And you probably even... I'd love to do a cheeky Will Brodie captaincy against Hawthorn into Oliver on the Monday. So I wouldn't mind doing something like that. But then you skip over Walsh against Essendon, who I think could have a pretty big game. So I think that's how I'll go, Brodie into Oliver. So we'll see. Anyway, that's been the video. Thanks, guys. Let us know how you went. How did you go up on the weekend? Geez, the trades are a bit of a mess. This is always going to be my trickiest round, and I don't like it. But, you know, Ware and Owen's in. We've got another 100k to work with. And we solid up our last midfielder there. So we're happy with our last midfielder. It means we miss Merritt, which everyone's grabbing. I prefer Walsh. And yes, interesting, if we save 100k on Walsh, I'll definitely think about Merritt. I like it. You save 100k as well. And is that 100k much different? If Merritt goes at 105 for the rest of the year, which you really could if you look at these scores, is that point chasing because of this though? Say Walsh goes 115. Yeah, you leak 10 points a week. I think if you go Walsh, and it's 10 points a week worth 100k. I really need to do the maths and work out, because if we can get Merritt, that means we probably get Gawn quite easily in the week after. We probably easily get another defender. So maybe I need that 100k. Because of trade. So we'll keep an eye on it. Same story, 587 for Max Gawn. So we can also get Max Gawn if we wanted to instead of Walsh this week. But you get a bonus game. So the reason you're trading in Walsh or Merritt or Parrish over Max Gawn, I like Bryn Teakle as well. The reason you're trading those two in is they've already had their bye. So for the rest of the year, Merritt plays an extra game over Gawn. So unless you think that Gawn is going to outscore Merritt or Walsh by a full game between now and the end of the season, you bring in Walsh or Merritt first, because next week Gawn straight up doesn't play. So that's a 0 that you're bringing in next week. Whereas Walsh still scores 100 and something next week, and Merritt still scores 100 and something next week. So now Gawn needs to make an extra 100 points in the remaining games on top of what he does. And he might. Gawn's that good. He really might. So don't think that that's out of the question. But if Walsh tracks at 120 and Gawn tracks at 130, it takes him until round 23 to catch up. So, and that's Gawn at 130. So, consider that. Think about that. Anyway, thanks, guys. I've rambled on a little bit. I'll chat to you guys, probably Friday. There'll have already been a game, Richmond Port. Not a role of relevance. If the sister of Test, Bryn Teakle, is picked, we're not going to go him straight off the bat. But we could. If Sam Hayes is dropped and Teakle is picked, then we will straight up switch that out because we have to. So that changes our trades and probably makes it a bit easier because then it's just a case of Bryn to Tess. Hayes to Tess. That gives us 200k to play with. We don't have to mess around with our structure a lot. We get a playing ruckman, which is really nice still. We get 200k out of Hayes, who probably is sitting on our bench for the whole season, and allows us to keep a guy like McCartan for 100%. All right, so thanks, guys. Have a good one.